Hi, and welcome to a rant in my Annoying Cop-At series in which I cover discussion stoppers that really grate on me. In this video, I'll discuss a silencing tactic that is often used to protect systemic privilege, but also used to ward off personal discomfort in unrelated matters, and of which I too am guilty. It's a form of ad hominem attack known as tone policing, going by other names including tone argument and tone fallacy. People can tone police their opponents with or without realizing it, and when I did it, it was only both without yet hearing of tone policing back then and being increasingly polarized against myself over the Sando Aqua Monster, which inhibited my ability to function. The most infamous type of usage of tone policing is silencing marginalized people and their allies about the oppression they experience to liberate privileged people from any discomfort. This is fallacious because decrying the angry tone of oppressed peoples and their allies does nothing to address the substance of their experience and concerns, and is instead a form of gaslighting and invalidation. However, tone policing isn't unique to protecting privilege from social justice, and instead has plenty of unrelated applications, as I've observed, and allow me to give you some examples starting with my own tone policing. In the early 2010s, I tone policed my critics, starting with Super Godzilla 12 himself, by complaining about SG-12's Godzilla avatar and the angry tone of my critics' voice instead of zeroing in on their confused Matthew apologetics, and for that, I own it and I'm sorry. Me mastering the likes of Windows Movie Maker by 2013 ended my avatar policing of the likes of SG-12 before Evil Broseph stunt. My then not having yet heard of tone policing and my hampered ability to function due to being divided against myself was why I focused too much on my critics' tone instead of solely on their toxic agenda. Once I heard of tone policing, I utterly knocked it off. My critics were also guilty of tone policing me, but unlike me, my post-SG-12 attackers didn't own it as far as I know. My critics often complained about how angry I was in my videos and how I got angrier without seeing that they're always got to have the last word behavior that also angered me about Confused Matthew and his responses to responses in the first place was the root cause of my anger in question. StarDestroyer.net is also guilty of tone policing, as in their complaints about people like me getting angry whilst refusing to acknowledge that their anti-Star Trek behaviors have been the cause of that anger. An argument stands on its merit, not the tone and execution of its delivery, which is why tone policing is a logical fallacy and a form of ad hominem attack meant to silence any criticism that for one reason or another happens to make one uncomfortable. Tone policing doesn't seek to look into where the other person's anger is ultimately coming from, nor to actually solve the problem, and instead only aims to protect privilege or just simply avoid any uncomfortable conversation. Tone policing treats anger as somehow automatically being a bad thing, instead of the normal response to upsetting stimuli that it truly is, which is yet another reason why it's fallacious.